about racism. Now I put the definition of racism up here on the board, which is defined as the belief that one's own race is better than another's. Now there's these three contributing factors that all go into racism: race, racial slurs, and stereotypes. And first I'm going to start off with race right here. If I asked anybody what their race is, what would you guys tell me? What's your race? White, Caucasian, Native American. So basically the main thing that you're thinking about is skin color then, right? Back in the 17th century, anthropologists actually came up with the definition of race, and they did it off of three physical characteristics. They did skin color, I forgot what the second one was. Hair type, and skull size. Now, I don't know when the last time you guys looked at somebody's skull or how big a head they had and actually judged them on it. If we actually did that still, our teacher would be in a lot of trouble. But, I'm just kidding. But we basically don't judge people off of these things anymore, but for some reason, the skin color thing, it won't go away. Some people are still really, really fixated on the skin color. But overall, it's bad. It's a bad definition of race right here. People are actually starting to gear more towards ethnicity now, instead of using the actual word race. The second idea I have over here are racial slurs. Racial slurs are anything that you would say to somebody, another ethnic group, to actually demoralize them or put them down. Some pretty common racial slurs, things like spick, wetback, cracker, anything like that. The most common and like the hardest one to even say is nigger. People have a really hard time with even hearing that word, but what race group is most likely to use that word?
Black people.
African Americans, that's right. That brings up the question then, who's allowing the word to be continued in use? African Americans. They're still letting, basically they give the idea off that it's okay to use that word by saying the word themselves. And racial slurs, stereotypes over here, and one of the biggest ones, and I gave you all that piece of paper. On that piece of paper are probably some of the most used stereotypes. What was the first one on there? Lives in a trailer. What ethnic group do you guys think lives in a trailer? Just white. Those three examples that I have on the bottom there are actually some of the ones that I got from my friends. I'm sure you guys have all got some about Barack Obama too, but basically we're doing the exact same thing. We're stereotyping somebody. Yeah, I know they're funny as shit. I don't know if you guys have got any, but they're pretty funny. But these stereotypes, the basic idea behind them is that we all think in racial stereotypes. But it's the people who act on these thoughts, and by act I mean talk about them with their friends, and it's people who act on them in the way of, actually going out and doing something against a different ethnic group. Those are the biggest and the most important reason why racism is still around today. So all three of these things combined, racial slurs, a bad definition of race that came up with hundreds of years ago, and these stereotypes that we have of each other, they're the main reason why racism is still around today. Thank you.